Yes, it is necessary to see or observe the gate characteristic of SCR, because normally the SCR will be triggered by using the gate voltage. The gate voltage is necessary to lessen the breaker voltage, forward breaker voltage. Okay, so we will start from gate characteristics of SCR. Okay, now you know that gate is connected to the cathode side. Okay, so gate is connected to cathode side, right, through PN junction. In construction we have seen this construction. Okay, because of this it built up the diode. Okay, so the VI characteristics of gate is similar to diode. I can say that it's near about similar to diode. Okay, so the circuit which supplies the firing signal to the gate must be designed. Okay, to design the circuit, it is necessary first that the variations means variations are to be accommodated. Variations means what I can say that the changes in gate signal, etc. Okay, second, the care should be taken while designing the gate circuit that the maximum voltage and the power capability of gate should not exceed. See, this is a first thing that we have to take to go. Third thing, here it is necessary to prevent false triggering. Because of, or we can also have to avoid the noises. Okay, so these points we have to consider whenever we are considering the design of the gate circuit. And fourth one and most important thing, that we have to assure the desired triggering, means at which instant we want the triggering, that should be properly obtained by using this gate triggering circuit. Okay, so before going to that directly design of gate triggering circuit, we should see the gate characteristic of the SCR. Okay, so now I will just draw the gate characteristic of SCR, so that the gate characteristics means VG versus IG, that is gate voltage versus gate current. Okay, so here as it builds up the diode, the characteristic VI characteristic is the same as that of a diode. So I will just draw the characteristic like this. This is one and this is second. Okay, so to see the operating points, means at which point we have to trigger the SCR. Okay, so that we have to decide. To decide that, there are some regions in the characteristic that we will see first. Okay, the first region is the region near the origin. Okay, so near the origin means this is the region that I am just making it at to be as a hatched region. Okay, and I am naming it to be as a OA region or just a hatched region. See, this region sets up the limit of the maximum false signal that can be tolerated in the gate firing circuit. It means that here if any false signals are there, then false signals mean just like a noise or surge currents, etc. So this can be considered in this region, means those who are having amplitude in this region, they can be considered. Okay, so here the first region, that is, I can say that OA region. 1 minute. So the first region, OA region, sets maximum false signals which can be tolerated. Okay, means though we are having the signals in this region that can be tolerated in the gate firing circuit, means SCR cannot be triggered with these signals. Okay, now second region is the region which I am drawing it as, this is, I can write it here L and I can write it here V. Okay, so sorry. So this signal can be considered as, yes, this is the intersection points that we will be having. That is, this region is, this is VG minimum and this is IG minimum. Means second region will decide the minimum gate voltage and minimum gate current. Gate current limits. Okay. Third region is the region which is lower left of this region, and I can say that I will just draw one region that will be giving, and I think you know that to get the operating consideration we are always drawing the load line. Load line means when Ig is equal to 0, this is the Vg, and when Vg is equal to 0, this is the Ig. So I am drawing the load line like this. See the load line I am drawing. You know that how to draw the load line. Already I had drawn for the transistors. Okay, so this is the load line, right? And I am drawing region that is just a parabola that will be having this is the region. Why this I am drawing? Because this will indicate constant PG. PG means gate power. Okay, so this is the curve that I had drawn for constant power, gate power. Okay, and this is our load line. Right, now for this what we will see, that where this load line touches to this characteristic and this characteristics. Okay, so here this is S1 point and this is S2 point, means this is the safe region. The region between S1 and S2 is the safe region to get the gate triggering circuit here. Okay, so I can consider the S point which is safe for or middle point of the load line. Okay, so here I have drawn this characteristic in order to consider all these regions. Now in this region here, left part of the region is adequate for firing. It means that this is the curve, right? To the left of this the firing is adequate, means smooth. Okay, and to the right part of this particular curve, the firing signals are hard. Okay, means here soft turn on will be there and here hard turn on is there. Hard means fast turn on. Okay, so the left part of hyperbola, no, I can say that parabola or hyperbola, or the I can say that curve is smooth firing. Okay, while right part of curve indicates the fast turning on. Fast turn on. Why this is like that? That I have drawn the curve. This is the curve which indicates the constant gate power. So obviously this left part will give you the soft turning on, while the right part will give you the hard turn on or fast turn on consideration. Okay, so obviously this particular characteristic will give you the design consideration of the gate triggering circuit. Okay, so now if I say this characteristic of the thyristor, gate thyristor, then here I can understand that we can design the circuit by considering this gate characteristic. Okay, so we have to see the gate circuit design also. Okay, so before going to that, one more thing I want to say that, see, the thyristor is or it can be considered, it is considered to be as a charge controlled device, because you know that here as we are giving the gate terminal voltage to the device, it can be triggered fast. So it can be considered to be as a charge controlled device here. Okay, so here to consider it, I can say that higher the magnitude of your gate current pulse, I can say that higher the magnitude of gate current pulse, lesser time is required or needed, it can be required or needed to inject the required charge. Okay, so here for turning on the SCR, if we introduce the gate current pulse of higher magnitude, it will take a less time to inject the charges and which will turn on your SCR. Okay, so this will turn on the SCR, or I can say that thyristor. Okay, so the turn on time, the some time is required to turn on this, so this is called to be the turn on time, can be reduced. It can be reduced by using gate current pulse, gate current of higher magnitude. See what I am telling. More is the gate current, less is the time required to fire. Okay, so for this the pulse width should be sufficient to allow the anode current to increase or to exceed, I can say that, the latching current. Yesterday you have seen, or in the previous lecture you have seen the characteristic, static characteristic of SCR. In that I have shown the two currents. One is latching current and another is holding current. Latching current is concerned to the turn on process of the SCR, and this current is required to keep your SCR in a on position. Okay. So though if the anode current is exceeded beyond the latching current, then if though we have removed the gate pulse, the SCR will be continue to be in a on position. Okay, so that's why the care should be taken that the pulse width should be sufficient to allow the anode current to exceed the latching current. It means that, remember, while designing the gate triggering circuit, we have to consider these points. First point is that higher the magnitude of gate current, less should be the turn on time required. Second, the pulse width of the gate current should be such that it should increase the anode current beyond the latching current. Okay, so by considering this, it shows that pulse width is a necessary factor for turning on the SCR. Pulse width of gate current is a necessity factor for designing the gate triggering circuit. So for that, here if I say if T is pulse width, okay, so if I show you like this, then it may be, I can draw in this fashion, that is, this is T, okay, and this is T1, that is total cycle, okay, and this is your IG, gate current, and this is with respect to time. Okay, so if I say if T is pulse width, this T should be greater than or equal to turn on time of the SCR, T on. Okay, now when we are going for pulse firing, okay, by giving the pulse firing, then in that, if F is the frequency of pulse, okay, then the gate power dissipation, this is very important factor in designing the gate trigger circuit. Okay, gate power dissipation, PG max, I can say that is gate power maximum. Okay, so PG max should be equal to VG into IG. Okay, and this is can be written as PG average divided by F into T, where F is the frequency of the pulse and T is the pulse width. Okay, so by observing this figure, I can write frequency is equal to 1 upon T1. See here, I have written here, frequency is equal to 1 upon T1. Okay, and this can be given in terms of hertz, right, where T is a pulse width. And it may be in a second or millisecond, whatever it may be. Okay, so from this figure I can write the duty cycle ratio. Okay, so the duty cycle of above can be considered as delta is equal to T upon T1. You know that T on upon T on plus T off. So this T upon T1. So this is your duty cycle. This T upon T1 is nothing but 1 upon T1 is nothing but F, right? So F into T, right? So the equation, that is above equation, P average, this equation can be written as PG average divided by duty cycle should be less than or equal to Pg max. Means power dissipation, maximum power dissipation can be considered here for designing the gate trigger circuit, and thus gate dissipation, power dissipation should be considered. So while designing the gate triggering circuit also, we have to take into account the frequency, time period, pulse width, etc., and at the same time gate power dissipation also. Okay, so this is the requirement of our gate triggering circuit design. Okay, so now after this consideration, we have to see that how should be the gate trigger circuit. I will draw only general. Okay, it may vary depending upon the again the requirements. Okay, so how it will be, I will just draw it as a general consideration. Okay, so this is your supply, that is E. Okay, and we are having SCR here. Okay, so this is the consideration. So we are connecting it like this. So the resistance, the diode here is connected, then here is the connection, and the resistance is given here, which is connected to this terminal. Okay, similarly one more diode is connected here in between these two. Secondly, here you may connect the resistance, and this is your supply, and you can give the supply here, that is EG. This is the supply. Okay, so here main supply is given, anode to cathode, and for gate the EG supply is given. I will just name the diodes D1, D2 and D3. Okay, so you can write R here also, RG, you can write anything, that RGR, and this is your anode, cathode and gate. Okay, so this is a general triggering circuit which I have drawn it. Okay, now I will just give one hint to you, that is this RG, this resistor RGR is required to bypass the thermally generated leakage current. Okay, it is not like that in every circuit this should be present. Okay, again it depends upon the designer, that how we are going to design it. Okay, second thing, that the D1 diode will apply a negative voltage in between gate and cathode. See, this is D1 diode, I missed by mistake. This will apply negative voltage between cathode and gate. See how it is connected. Okay, it also serves the limit the reverse voltage, because in between cathode and gate there is a reverse voltage, so obviously it limits that reverse voltage. It limits the reverse voltage across cathode and gate, across cathode and gate. Similarly, the diode D2 prevents negative source current. This, if negative current is there, this diode will prevent it. Okay, and the D3 will block the positive gate current coming from supply. See, D3 avoids the positive gate current coming from the supply, because we have connected here positive, so it may happen that some positive gate current may appear at the gate. So for that, to avoid that, the D3 is connected. Okay, so this is just a normal triggering circuit that we have to take into account. So here your gate characteristic of SCR will give you the design of gate firing circuit. Okay, so as per this consideration, we have to design the gate firing circuit.